You know, somebody that's not in the street, Wack can't do nothing with them. You know, because you think different. When you're in the streets, you're trying to live by a code to be respected, so that everybody looks at you a certain way. And you got somebody that's not living like that, you know, playing that game. You know what I'm saying? Straight up. Smash that like button and hit that subscribe button. Shout out to all y'all.
Why hasn't anyone been arrested for Draco's murder? Why do you think that is? No arrests.
Shit.
Happened in a public venue.
You gotta ask Munchie B. He always point out people that had something to do with it or was there. I think he the only one assisting them. Maybe he ain't a reliable, credible source. He's the only one I seen on the internet naming people that was there and naming this and naming that. But I mean, it was on video. We all seen the video. It looks like it was a rumble. You know, I missed it by like 15 minutes. We was actually waiting on Draco to make sure he got in and out right. But shit, we waited on him an hour and something. You know, I had 100 tickets. I had 4 artists performing. I had Game, I had Blueface, Coyote, and True Car. So I told Nephew we was gonna wait up for him and make sure he got in and out of there right. But after holding Blue and holding Game and the team a whole hour, they was with it. And like, bro, we don't think he gonna show up. Let's roll. I called his little brother and then was there early, about 5 o'clock.
Yeah.
And, you know, they was good. By the time we got to the Sprinter and got to the freeway, we got the call. He was dead.
So you mean to tell me that if he wasn't late, there's a reasonable chance he would have lived?
Great. We was 100 deep.
Yeah.
It was 100 deep, and we had people with us, a large amount of people with us that knew people from whatever he was involved in. So I think between the politics and, you know, and it being, you know, the numbers, you know, I think the problem would have been diffused at that time. 90% sure it would have been.
That's sad, man.
It might have.
And something that we heard at the beginning, and this was 6 months ago, that Wack mentioned Munchie B. So Wack has been planning for some time now to use Munchie B as the scapegoat for this to come out the way that they're rolling this out. This was already planned out.
Been some head up squabbles. You know what I'm saying? We was already prepared for that to happen, but it wouldn't have just been what that was like that. You know what I'm saying?
So do you think that ultimately this will be a cold case forever?
I don't know, because all I know is what I saw on the internet. You know what I'm saying?
Not much.
All I know is what I saw. I saw the little fight, and I saw a few people get knocked out. I saw a few people squabbling. You know, I can't say that's when he got stabbed. I don't know if it happened there. When they turned it, I don't know when it happened. The only one that spoke on people being there is Munchie B, the peanut butter man. So at this point in time, I'm pretty sure the police, they went and talked to him about it. It's probably why he keep getting ORs and not bails, because he's the only one identifying people. Such and such was there, this hood was there, these people was there. So I don't know, but I will tell you this. It's a lot of people involved. And usually when you have that many people involved, somebody's pillow talking, somebody gets in trouble, right? At one point or another, or tell somebody something. Do I believe they have leads? We know they got leads because Munchie B done said some names, but
You hear what he said? He knows that they have leads because Munchie B says some names. That is the scapegoat because he knows the details. Munchie B was the whole scapegoat for this. You know, the feds want to close that case. LAPD want to close that case. They want to. You know, you got Wack out there acting like it's all for Munchie B, but he got a big hand in this.
I believe they have other leads from people that might have been there. I definitely believe that. It could have been some people on Draco's side, that maybe said they recognized some people, or some people on the other side who got caught up in the situation. So, it's a high profile case. I do know it's a lawsuit going on. But I do believe that they're still working it. And in these type of situations, you never know. You never know. But the probability of an arrest with Munchie B screaming people names and directing the police, go talk to that. That's what he's saying. Go talk to that dude. He was there. They got some statements. What they gonna do with it, I don't know. But rest in peace, Draco. He was cool with me. I know we had things going on, with people, but he always gave me respect. He did 2-3 songs with me and my artists, so I can't do nothing but respect the man and salute him.
You hear what he said, right? He said they got statements already. How do you know that they have statements already? What gives you the information? Who gives you the information that they already have statements already? But this was him planning from then to use Munchie B as the scapegoat. I don't think any person that's in the streets actively or gangbanging, have a shot going at Wack, because he's going to use everything against you. Everything. And I also don't think nothing is going to happen to Wack, because he's too effective solving these crimes for the police. Yeah. We can do is alert the people, most definitely. And whoever want to deal with the bull, we're going to be talking about you next, because you're going to get indicted as well. But I think he's too effective for the feds, man. He's very effective, because gang members are easily manipulated. So by me seeing this, it just gives me the understanding that why would they stop him from doing the same thing that's benefiting law enforcement? Yeah, we see certain things, and I think certain things we see that he does, he's allowed to do these things for the purposes of the manipulation of the mind. But he got a duty. He has to make sure that things get reported. He has to make sure that cases get solved, open cases. You think about this now. Wack is helping open homicides. The situation that Big U was in, that was an open homicide. This is an open homicide. These open homicides. And I think Wack got a lot of information on a lot of different individuals. So he just uses that for his benefit. And I remember one time last year, the bull was saying that it's okay for you to tell on the dead. And I feel like when he said that, it was like him having an ace in the hole in case he needed to get out of a situation. Because he just came out the blue and was like, man, if you tell on the dead, that's not telling. You can tell on the dead. Justifying, but I think when it comes to the manipulation with the gang bangers and working with them people, he got that mapped out. So people that are like civilians, he's not gonna go at them because they don't, fall into the category that he needs you to be in. And we keep seeing the same exact thing every single time. But that was 6 months ago, and he was preparing then to put Munchie B in the trick bag. And it's crazy that Munchie B fell for the trick bag when I know he heard Wack talking about this 6 months ago, preparing to put him in the trick bag, and he still fell for the banana in the tailpipe. There was no way he was supposed to talk to none of them people in Clubhouse about anything. You talking about somebody that unalived, and like, hold up. Your conversation was supposed to fall back. You wasn't supposed to keep talking to them, because obviously that was the mission. You know, Rockstar over there, they got the cheeseburger nigga, they got Jaleese. That was the mission. Wack knew that he wasn't going to be able to get on the Clubhouse over there and be able to get Munchie B to say certain things. So who did he use? Jaleese and the people that he be doing is getting to do his dirty work. I'm going to use them. And that's exactly what he did. And it worked out. So now that it worked out, you better know when he got the information and seen that he got Munchie B to speak, he was probably jumping around the house, rolling around the house like, yeah, this is what I need. This is the key piece I needed. Now I'm about to run this through the moon. So, you know what I mean? That's why I say, man, anything associated with Wack, now you got to keep your distance. You got to stay away from them, because they on some other type time. If you haven't already, smash that like button. You just came in the building. Make sure you hit the like button. Hit the subscribe button. You know, and share this live. Shout out to everybody that's watching right now. You know, I appreciate y'all. Let me see this one right here. Shout out to all y'all. Let's go on this one right here. Let's check. Let's react to this one, y'all. Shout out to everybody, man. You know, if you haven't subscribed to the channel, man, make sure you hit that subscribe button. You know, we appreciate all the people that support, man. You know, we the rawest late night show. We on for hours, you know, and make sure you go stream the new single, She Ain't Gotta by Deezy. If you haven't already streamed it, make sure you go stream the new single, She Ain't Gotta.